Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Long time no see. Hope you're all doing great, and we are continuing with a new story. Today it's holding up a train. So let's do this. It's gonna be it's gonna be the long stories. So I expect about 4 or 5 parts. So yeah, beginning. Note, the man who told me these things was for several years an outlaw, outlaw in the Southwest and a follower of the pursuit he so frankly describes. His description of the modus operandi should prove interesting. His counsel of value to the potential passenger in some future holdup, while his estimate of the pleasures of train robbing will hardly induce anyone to adopt it as a profession. I give this story in almost exactly his own words. O.H. The signature. Most people would say, if their opinion was asked for, that holding up a train would be a hard job. Well, it isn't. It's easy. I have contributed some to the uneasiness of railroads and the insomnia of express companies. And the most trouble I ever had about a holdup was a being swindled by unscrupulous 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 people while spending the money I got. The danger wasn't anything to speak of, and we didn't mind the trouble. One man has come pretty near robbing a train by himself to have succeeded a few times. Three can do it if they are hustlers, but five is about the right number. The time to do it and the place depend upon several things. The first stake up I was ever I was ever in happened in 1890. Maybe the way I got into it will explain how most train robbers start in the business. 5 out of 6 Western outlaws are just cowboys, out of a job and gone wrong. The sixth is a tough from the East who dressed up like a bad man and plays some low-down trick that gives the boys a bad name. While Francis and Nesters made 5 of them, a bad heart made the 6. Jim S. and I were working on the 101 on the 101st ranch in Colorado. The Nesters had the cowman on the go. They had taken up the land and elected officers who were hard to get along with. Jim and I rode into La Junta one day, going south from a roundup. We have we were having a little fun without mollies toward anybody. When a farmer administration got in and tried to harvest us, Jim shot a deputy marshal, and I kind of corroborated corrobo- corrobor- corroborated, corroborated, corroborated his side of the argument. We skirmished, skirmished up and down the main street, the boomers having bad luck all the time. After a while, we leaned forward and showed, um, showed. It's not the W in this word. For the ranch, down on the Carrizo. Okay. We were riding a couple of horses that couldn't fly, but they could catch birds. A few days after that, again, a gang of La Junta boomers came to the ranch and wanted us to go back with them. Naturally, we declined. We had the house on them, and before we were done refusing, the old dope was plump full of lead. When dark came, we faggoted them a batch of bullets and shoved out the back door for their rocks. They sure smoked us as we went. We had to drift, which we did, and rounded up down in Oklahoma. Well, there wasn't anything we could get there, and being mighty hard up, we declined to transact a little business with the railroads. Jim and I joined forces with Tom and Aki Moore, two brothers who had plenty of sand they were willing to convert into dust. I can call their names, for both of them are dead. Tom was shot while robbing a bank in Arkansas. Ike was killed during the more dangerous pastime of attending a dance in the Creek Nation. We selected a place of the Santa Fe where there was a bridge across a deep creek surrounded by heavy timber. Heavy timber. No idea what is this timber. All passenger trains took water at the tank close to one end of the bridge. It was a quiet place, the nearest house being 5 miles away. The day before it happened, we rested our horses and made medicine as to how we should get about it. Our plans were not at all elaborate, as none of us had ever engaged in a holdup before. The Santa Fe flyer was due at the tank at 11:15. At 11, Tom and I lay down on the side of the track, and Jim and Ike took the other. As the trail rolled up, the headlight flashing far down the track, and the steam hissing from the engine, I turned weak all over. I would have worked a whole year on the ranch for nothing to have been out for the affair right then. Some of the nervous men in the business have told me that they felt the same way the first time. The engine had hardly stopped when I jumped on the running board on one side, while Jim mounted the other. As soon as the engineer and firemen saw our guns, they threw up their hands without being told and begged us not to shoot, saying they would do anything we wanted them to. Hit the ground, I ordered, and they both jumped off. We drove them before us down the side of the train. We drove them before us down the side of the train. All right. While this was happening, Tom and Ike had been blazing away on the edge side of the train, yelling like Apaches, Apache, Apaches, Apaches, Apache, Apache, Apaches, so as to keep the passengers herded in the cars. Some fellow stuck a little 22 caliber out one of the coach windows and fired it straight up in the air. I let drive and smashed the glass just over his head. That settled everything, like resistance from that direction. By this time, all my nervousness was gone. I felt a kind of pleasant excitement, as if I were at a dance or a frolic of some sort. The lights were all out in the coaches, and as Tom and Ike gradually quit firing and yelling, it got to be almost as still as a graveyard. I remember hearing a little bird chirping in a bush at the side of the track, as if it were complaining and being waked up. I made the fireman get a lantern, and then I went to the express car and yelled to the messenger to open up or get perforated. He slid the door back and stood in with his hands up. "Jump overboard, son," I said, and he hit the dirt like a lump of lead. There were two safes in the car, a big one and a little one. By the way, I first located the messenger's arsenal. A double-barreled shotgun with buckshot cartridges and 38 in a drawer. I drew the cartridges from the shotgun, pocketed the pistol, and called the messenger inside. I shoved my gun. What's the word? I shoved my gun against his nose and put him to work. He couldn't open the big safe, but he did a little one. There was only $900 in it. That was mighty small winnings for our trouble. So we decided to go through the passengers. We took our prisoners to the smoking car, and from there sent the engineer through the train to light up the coaches. Beginning with the first one, we placed a man at each door and ordered the passengers to stand between the seats with their hands up. Alright guys, that was the first part, and we're gonna continue tomorrow. So, see you then. Bye.